have sound. Because I don't think we have any sound.
Oh,
We'll find
we're
out.
live.
We are live.
We find out.
Hey, guys.
Okay, Greasy Garage, Rocco.
Do we have sound, guys?
Can you hear off?
Hello? Mute. Unmute. Hello?
Hi.
Testing.
Hey, Bill McKeisker.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us, Bill? Are we coming through loud and clear, or has Tony screwed the sound system?
I have screwed the sound system. Can you guys hear us?
I don't think so.
Can you?
Loud and clear. Yes.
There
Okay.
we go.
Oh, it's working? Oh, okay.
Yes. All right. Well, how do you like that? Because the sound mixer isn't
All right.
doing its thing. But
It's the likely lads. Yeah.
oh, nice. Okay. So is the sound any better than it was last week? Yes. Echo.
Yeah.
Is there an
Yes,
echo?
yes, echo.
5.5. Saudada. What? Okay. Oh. So here, do we need to move this down a little bit?
No, we're good.
Let's just
Is it
let's just pick it right. Okay, there it is.
Is it actually coming through?
Yeah, they sound
Yeah.
a lot better. No
Oh, I thought
echo.
it was the microphone.
We're like professionals.
Yeah.
This is truly.
You should
It's
see
epic.
this place before it went live.
This is epic.
It was chaos.
Oh, wasn't that bad, Kiwi? You just panicked. That's
I panicked. I didn't panic. I'm just kicking back watching YouTube work your ass
Sounds like
off.
normal, a bit low, but okay. Can you
a bit low. I have all these knobs and dials. Please, here.
turn everything up? Yeah.
Wham. Okay, everything to the right.
Have a party.
Let me know if this becomes annoying, guys.
Video is just slightly blurry, like Barbara Walters
It's-
special. That's so we don't look so old.
Yeah.
All right. How's that?
It was low for me, but it turned up my speakers. Oh, okay. Yeah, just turn up your speakers.
It's shitty just like normal. Thank you, Rocco.
Yeah.
It was low for me, but it turned up my speakers.
No beers, no. I was meant to bring bourbon over, but I didn't.
All right. Okay. All right. Well then, there we go. Okay, we're on. We're live.
Yay!
We have sound.
See, this is better, isn't it?
Black and yellow, because that's kind of us.
If
Yeah.
you guys can see the wiring.
I had to bring some
going on.
color into the show tonight.
It's
Like, it
the-
was a bit, it
I
was a bit
went-
all black last week.
I went to wear a white shirt, but I was eating a hot dog and I got ketchup all over me, so I put this on.
So now, if you're,
David Boyd, how are the Three Stooges? We're good.
Yeah.
if you're reading the monitor over there, right,
Hmm.
doesn't it kind of defeat the purpose?
Of what?
Well, you're supposed to be able to look at the camera, but
Huh?
because your monitor is over there, you've got to look down even further than when you're trying
That's
to
true.
read.
I'll read this
here.
one. I'll read this
All
one.
right.
There you go.
I'll be the little guy in the corner reading with my head down.
Okay.
I can't see from over there, so.
Mm.
All right, we have a monitor over there also. Like this is just becoming like NASA. I mean, there's crazy stuff going on here. It's like what's that? The super collider?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the level of tech we got going on here right now. Let's see. Joking, how come Tony says Dr. Art's channel name perfectly fine,
But
but always butchers kiwis, crackers, and
It does make
koalas?
you wonder, doesn't it?
I never butcher kiwis, crackers, and koalas.
Kiwi, buy that Barracuda. Yeah, well, I think he's reneging on selling it actually. Not that I can actually buy it, but
Mhm.
he's the way
Why
he's
not,
talking,
bro?
he's
You-
not gonna.
You got so much money.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's apparently in hiding at the moment. So
Oh man.
yeah.
Yeah.
If we had pedals, we would look like a black-eyed Susan. That's nice. I'm not even sure what that is, but that's great.
Chief mentions Kiwi's the bumblebee stripe or a black super bee. There you go.
Yeah.
That's my McLaren shirt, mate. McLaren. I'm flying the flag,
You're representing your
representing New Zealand. Yeah.
one of your 7 McLarens you have in your garage.
Yes, I wish. I'd love to have one. But McLaren's Kiwi based. Kiwi. We started McLaren.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So David Bird says he liked the short trains video. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we interviewed a lot of different trains people in order to bring you that video.
And I lost. I am not a transmission guy. Not a transmission guy. Let's see. Yeah, Eric Wilson he's putting a grease zerk on a rear spindle bushing over his angle grinder. Very nice.
Mhm.
Very nice. Tony, are you wearing my T-shirt? I don't know which shirt.
He's
what shirt
wearing
am I
this is sketchy even by my
Oh,
standards.
yeah.
That's a pretty funny shirt.
We've sold a lot of those shirts.
That's pretty good.
But I don't have any of those really
You
in
mentioned
stock. I have
sketchy,
to
it's got
sell.
to be sketchy by your standards.
Actually, I made that shirt after you and I did a video. And
Oh,
I
really?
said, yeah, because it was one of those videos that you and I did.
Oh, I think it was
ton
that
of
red and
views,
white truck from Possum Hollow Guy.
where I said this is sketchy even by my standards. And somebody in the comments said that would be a great shirt. And I was like,
There you
consider it
go.
done. And we sold a buttload of those things.
72Z28. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the bench harness for the JTEC's going to come in handy here.
Joe K says, I'm not a transmission guy either. Remove, replace, and clutch jobs are as far as I go. Yeah, unfortunately, I've gone in there. And then, really, unfortunately, I've let people know that I've gone in there. So it's like, there's some things you just best keep to yourself.
You almost don't want to tell that you're in a transmission because then everyone's the phone rings. Yeah, can you? Yeah.
There are some things you just want to keep to yourself.
Yeah.
Rescue and restore garage in the house. There you go.
Need metal. And this is a good question because I was just going to ask Dr. Art this. Is the Jeep still misfiring?
Yep.
So what do we have to do to fix this thing? We got to get to the track.
Well, we took apart. I opened up that other computer from the parts Jeep.
Right.
The unnamed parts Jeep at this point. And
The one they haven't been introduced.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Nothing to
The
see
one
here.
that Kathy doesn't know about you?
She knows about it.
Oh, okay.
And that one was brought up kind of in the same spot as your original one.
Okay.
But it's got some decent parts. So, and I don't want to crack open the one that's working for fear of it'll never work again, which is probably not, but
And now I found that I can send that back. Even if he doesn't want to accept it back through eBay's policy, I can just send it back. But I got until April 24th to get it.
Okay, which
back.
is like
Early
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be long.
Yeah, but if I don't get to the drag strip soon, people are going to accuse me of abandoning another project. So, but my reputation is on you
Oh,
right
right.
now.
We'll take a strap and we'll hitch it to the Kiwi's blue car. And just...
It may come to that.
Might still do a better ET.
Jeff Hutchins says, I'm not sure if you can say short trans on YouTube anymore, demonetized. You got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful what you say.
Bill McKeisker, any tips on removing and reinstalling a headliner without damaging it? Yeah, that's a tricky one. I assume it's a suspended headliner. You've really got to. They're not very expensive to buy. I would just try to get it out, and if you fail and it rips, stick a new end. But you're going to have to glue it all back in anyway, so you're not making any more work really by replacing it. But if it's fairly old, the chances of you getting it out and getting it back in are
zero.
Yeah. Zero to slim. Yeah, slim to zero.
Yeah, if it's a bow style, or you can take the glass up and everything, just rip it and get a new color and entertain yourself.
Yeah, like a Mustang headline is like $60.
Yeah,
it's really not very much.
All right.
It's an entire day to put in, but it's $60.
We got one here from Del Eater. All right. What would cause losing a drastic amount of oil pressure at about 50 miles an hour and after driving for about 15-20 minutes? If I have her parked in idling, she blows heavy white smoke.
Yeah.
I already know what it is, though. What are your opinions?
That's kind of all over. Loses all pressure.
I mean, just from 1,000 miles away, it sounds like his heads are plugged and all his oil sitting up on top and it's getting sucked into the valves.
That's exactly it.
And especially if it's like an older motor, especially an older Ford, where the valve seals turn into rocks and sit and clog your returns.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly it, Del.
I've 100 times. That's why you don't have the oil pressure. All the oil's in the head.
Yep.
Take the valve covers off and see what you can see.
So not all engines drain back oil equally. Some of them, like for instance, Oldsmobile engines are notorious for keeping oil up in the head. Some engines, small drain back passages, over time, the oil just congeals in there and it closes it off and the oil can't drain back quickly enough. And that's probably what you got going on there. I've also seen them where lifters will allow too much oil to pass through, right? Engines that oil through the push rods. I've seen them where the valving inside the lifter goes bad, and it'll just gush oil.
Oh, there's no check valve, it just keeps pumping? Okay.
So yeah, you've got a situation where when you're losing your oil pressure, it's because you've pumped the majority of your oil, almost all your oil, into the heads. And then the white smoke is from that oil getting sucked in through the intake valves, through the guides, as it sits. So yeah, you got a drain back issue.
Now, Mike N's daughter Sarah is watching us.
Hello,
She says
Sarah.
hi, 7-year-old Sarah. Hello,
Oh,
Sarah.
hi, Sarah.
Everybody wave. Everybody must.
Yeah, hi, Sarah.
We can see her waving back too.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Yes.
KJ Kelly, hey Kiwi, on a right-hand drive column shift manual transmission, which side is the shifter, signal lever and ignition switch? They're reversed. So on the right-hand side, you change gear with your left hand, and your turn signals are on the other side, typically. Gosh, I'm trying to remember now. It's been a couple of decades since I drove a column change manual in New Zealand. Typically, everything's reversed except the pedals. Don't let anyone tell you that the pedals are reversed. I've had Americans try and tell me that they drove a car in Europe and the pedals are reversed.
No, they're not.
Well, you were obviously tripping when you did that.
Yeah,
and your world was upside down and reversed. Because no, that's not how it works.
So Need Metal's talking about the Jeep. Is the Jeep alternator overcharging? Okay, so one of the things, we tried everything under the sun, and it did occur to me. Now, I have had, in the distant past, I've had that situation. And the telltale is if, while it's missing and bucking, you turn the headlights on. If you turn the headlights on while it's doing that, and it clears up at all, you know that it's overcharging, right? Or it's a voltage issue.
That's what I did. I had the headlights on, I had the AC on, and the fan cranked up, and everything as much draw as possible. And still
Right. Well, what I do is you get it to where it's and while it's doing that, you pop the headlights on, and you just see if there's any change.
Yeah.
And there was nothing.
Now, somebody asked a moment ago, when are we going to see the Big Richards motor start up on the engine stand? Is that what you're going to run it on the engine stand?
We're not, because it's not like a Ford or a Chevy. It's an automatic, so you need a torque converter.
Right. As soon as you've got the torque converter,
You put it to the transmission and bolt it to the trans, and 5 minutes later it's in the truck. So that's what we'll hear it run. Yeah, no engine stand starter for that one. It'll start in the truck.
Let's see. The whole says, "Good job, boys. Keep up the good work." Thank you. We're trying. Seth Das, Grandpa-in-law has a '64 Cuda we've been messing with. It started leaking tranny fluid badly. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but he says it's coming from the parking cable input. Is there an O-ring? Yes.
There you go. Well, Large Marge started leaking transmission oil badly once we got it started, but that was because the front seal was ripped in two.
Mike Fredericks, hey fellas, what's the genesis of the yellow headlight covers on 60s and 70s muscle cars?
I've seen them do that on
yellow,
some of the gases.
Blue, and red. Okay.
I mean, I always was told, I don't know if this is true, but they did yellow, so when you're in fog and you have your high beams on, it doesn't reflect all the light back and you can see.
I don't know the reason why, but aircraft landing lights or aircraft lights were the same for a period of time there back in the 60s or 70s, were the same as the seal beams.
Mm-hmm.
And those were aircraft lights, and they were either yellow, blue, or red. And people used to put them in the high beam position.
Oh, it's like
it was just a thing.
Just like they do the blue headlights now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just a thing.
So Rocco wants you to cut open Big Richard's torque converter and do an autopsy on it for a video.
I have already dumpstered it, bro. It's already gone.
Was it just rusty inside, or what was going on?
How can you tell?
How can you tell?
Yeah. Sit there for half an hour with a death wheel to go, it's
The
rusty.
lines were rusted as shit, so it only stands to reason the inside of it was also.
Mhm.
Remind me, I gotta give you about the valve body for the core.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The headlight covers on most cars, they turn yellow. Yes, they do.
Mhm.
Let's see. Tim Thrower, put an earlier Chevy alternator in it and it will never go higher than 13.5 volts, 13.8 volts on a Chevy. What are you talking about?
You're Jeep overcharging.
Oh, I
That's
never crossed three
And
parts.
it's not overcharging because I've seen you driving it at night and the headlights are not like.
No,
they're just normal. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not the issue. But thanks.
But that's besides the point. It goes against my religion to cross three parts. Like if it, different, I can't put a GM part in a Chrysler car.
So putting Crown Vic front suspension in the front of.
I will never fucking talk to you. Excuse my French, guys.
He was mad talking about that at my house. He's like,
Oh, is it?
yes, it's not a joke. No,
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Mm.
or at least paint it like red or something and say, hey, I got a different one that's lower. The blue one's that,
We don't try and put torsion bar suspension in the front.
No. It's gonna have all these springs. It's a beautiful drop down.
when you drive it,
Yeah.
after it's all done with the front axle and it's all lined up and stuff like that, it's just going down the road straight. It's just riding kind
You
of
will
like a
not
headline.
believe how nice it rides.
You'll
You
be
will
like,
not
oh,
believe how
this
nice
is
it
Oh
rides.
man, I drove that 71 that I had for probably 6 months.
Okay.
And yeah, it was low. It was a bit low, so it was forever bottoming out, which was just a pain in the butt. And heavy as hell, the steering. I'm getting a bit old and lazy. I like a bit of power assist.
That's another quarter in the swear jar. Kobe Burrow, Art is your computer wiring series for testing computers and modifying them.
Yes, both.
Both.
Yes. Mostly, and testing them to make sure they live, and they have life to them. But other than that, it's just to get, if somebody needs help, they just found a junkyard computer, but it doesn't work with theirs because of the skim thing. I can remove the skim and make their life happy again, that kind of stuff.
So you'll be taking orders from people to do.
I do already.
She does it already. Look at this.
For the LS computers and stuff like that. Yeah, I just sent out.
You're trying to make as much money as Kiwi, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna leave me in the dirt.
I'll make it a year when he's making it a day. So just.
Oh jeez, give me a break. we aspire to make as much money off YouTube as Tony does.
Yeah, I used to make money, but then I, quit working. So.
Yeah, well, that is a side effect of quit work. Yeah.
Well, I've never really had a job. I am hardcore unemployable. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, someone wanted to know. There we go. What's on the TV? Kiwi UT, can you tell us how similar or not the Kelsey Hayes 4-piston brakes are Ford versus Mopar on the Barracuda? 73 out discs, a great upgrade on them. Yep. Apparently that Barracuda's got 73 brakes on the front.
Okay.
And it's the 4-piston Kelsey Hayes. They look identical to the Mustang ones.
No.
No, they're not.
If
They'll be different
the
brackets,
73 is-
different bolt pattern.
No, but you're saying that Barracuda has a 73 and up. That's a single puck.
Yeah, well, the Barracuda's got the Kelsey Hayes ones on.
4.
Yeah, 4
Okay.
pistons.
So that's not 73. That's 72 and earlier.
72. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those would be
This
the-
is just what guys are commenting, so
Well,
I don't
if,
know enough about the Mopars to go. Oh no.
if it's got the 4 puck Kelsey Hayes, that means that those are the original disc brakes of that car. The car was ordered with disc brakes now.
Okay. I thought he said he added them, but I might be wrong.
Well, he might have added the right ones.
Right. Yeah. But no, the actual caliper themselves, possibly the bolt pattern where they bolt to the caliper bracket could be different from the Mopar to the Ford, but the actual the guts of the caliper is the same.
The pads aren't. The pads aren't interchangeable.
Oh really?
No. Well, the caliper is the same, but the
Yeah.
holders
Oh, hold look.
are different.
Huh. Okay. I haven't actually even taken a wheel off that green Barracuda, so I haven't looked that close. We are doing an interesting test on that Mustang that's got the poor brakes on it though. That grey one, that messed up Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some $160 pads for it.
Ooh.
And man, you can buy I had a look online. The cheapest pads you can get for it are $21 for a set of these 4-piston pads. Most expensive are $296. So we'll put some middle of the range ones in there and see if they actually help the brake.
I don't think I've spent $160 on brakes in my entire life. You had a lot of brakes.
This is the king of the drum brakes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We like just do back-to-back tests. I'm just bolting the set of EBC metallic ceramic pads, and at the moment the thing's got too much rear brakes. So it's gonna be interesting to see if it evens out the brakes.
Zero is in the house.
Hey Zero, how you doing, man?
I had to, with too much rear brakes, I had that same problem on a Cougar. I never figured it out.
Oh really? Huh. I suspect it's just got shitty pads in the front.
I had all new stuff, and I used factory stuff. There were 71 and up Mustang front spindles and calipers, and it was just weird. I never figured it out.
Huh.
That was the next guy's problem.
Fair enough. What is Chicken Walker Ranch? I give up. What's Chicken Walker Ranch?
It used to be my house.
Ah.
We used to have chickens in the backyard, and we were talking about the Skinwalker Ranch one night, and my chickens were clucking around, and we made a joke about the Chicken Walker Ranch, and so somebody made me that, and we've had it ever since. Joe K. So I am very opinionated on this. I'm like ridiculously opinionated on this, and I defy anybody to tell me I'm wrong. Okay, all right. Joe K. Thoughts on monolease Caltrac bars, shocks, Mopar rear suspension. Okay, this is, I'm going to give you 2 examples. I'm going to give you 2 examples. One, Dave Dudek's 9-second Hemi Roadrunner. Okay, car runs like I think it's like the 970s now, right? 970s, stock 7-inch wide polyglass tires. Okay, G70 or G60, G70 and G60 15s. Okay. That's what's on the car. Factory tire size. 970s. His rear suspension. Stock, low performance, Plymouth Satellite, not even like the Hemi Springs. Stock, low performance, Plymouth Satellite, the same ones you get on a 318 or a Slant 6. And that's it. No pinion snubbers on it. He's got shocks. He's got adjustable shocks on it. But the springs are stock, low performance, Plymouth Satellite springs, and he's running 970s with this thing. Previous to that, you go back even more extreme example. Gary Dyer, 1965, right? Ran 865 Lions in Mr. Norm's fuel funny car. Okay, that car had completely stock rear suspension, 8 3/4 axle, 8-inch wide slicks, right? On marginal, like the same basic setup that as you would have, like no prep today, okay? And that was a completely, utterly, totally stock 1965 Dodge Coronet rear suspension, just moved forward. So that's my thoughts. Unless you can go quicker than 865, you have no reason to modify the rear suspension of a Mopar.
No, because it's actually so far forward on the spring.
Exactly.
You don't need to do anything.
Yep.
There you go. Bro, good fuel return, but in cold weather, should a manual pump be cool? Just to squeeze, but not over the level is just enough to fill the. Not sure what the question is.
No, I think they're probably
these answers are
amongst
talking about
themselves,
themselves. There you go. The fact that Tony is still alive is proof that drum brakes are adequate.
They work just fine.
If you have a road race with drum brakes, you might have a slightly different opinion.
But I'm not a road racer.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You know, I'm a
That's
man.
what I'm saying. You're a man.
I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? We drag race. You know, we don't have time for this
Slowing
stuff. Yeah, it's like, oh, let me go fast and then slow down and then go fast again. Who's got time for that shit? You see what I'm saying? Who's got time for that? I don't have the attention span for that. It's besides the point. It's like we go from here and to here, and that's it. Oh.
Silver is pro. Hey Tony, wondering what transmission and rear end you would recommend for burnouts. Engine is the 318.
Ooh. I mean, I
Depends a little bit on the car, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, any 904 is gonna hold up just fine for that. Wheel speed is everything, right? Wheel speed is everything. Your problem is gonna be getting those people who set up burnout cars. Say one of the things with burnout cars is that they have to get instant smoke, or it's like, yeah, you're a failure. I'm not a burnout car kind of guy, but this is like what I observed. So your problem with that 318 and is it you're not going to make enough power to like get that crazy wheel spin and the instant tire smoke that they get right off the bat. Once the revs are up, once it's up to 4,000 or 5,000 RPM and everything is spinning, the inertia goes and it doesn't take any power to keep them going. And especially since the car's always moving around. I would say like a 270 gear, but you're going to be like really. Yeah.
You'd have to smack the thing right as you take off with a nice 200 shot just to get the tires going. And
exactly.
And frame it stays together and just lay off it once you build up some RPM.
Yeah. Zero saying designed by Top Men Mopar suspension. That's right. Chrysler had a missile division.
What do you think about that?
Oh, Fubar's in. Fubar's here.
Fubar's here. 86 Buick Regal. 2 engines. Old 307 or a 64 283.
What was it again now?
So here we go.
We've got an 86 Buick Regal roller. He's got 2 engines to choose from he wants to build. One's an Oldsmobile 307 and one's a 1964 283.
What are you going to do with it?
Yeah, those engines would be great if it's a lowrider, but
yeah, they're both good lowrider engines. Just because there's zero advantage to the 283, I would say go with the 307 only because that body came with those 307 Oldsmobiles. So it's just why have to change frame mounts and do all the other shit?
Yeah, just
to accommodate the Chevy.
The Oldsmobile motor mounts.
Yeah.
If it was a 327 Chevy, it'd be a slightly different argument. But
yeah. 350 Chevy, it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Juan Ziegler is a 56-year-old kid hang some curtains to get a better vocal recording. I thought we had good sound. Look, we have this. Look at this shit. Look. Come on.
It's this big phallic mic.
Yeah, I don't want it to be on the. Here we go.
There you
go.
Fred Gomez, is the opposing 4-cylinder Boxer Subaru motor any good?
You don't like them? They've been around for a long time.
Been around for a long time. They make you can make some big horsepower out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry too much about rotational twist in the crank. It's short. They're a good engine. They're just a little different to work on, which is what puts a lot of people off. They seem odd if you're used to working on straight fours. But and they can be a little bit hard to work on in a Subaru because there's not much room around the cylinder heads because they're typically between the chassis rails.
Yeah, they're generally fine as long as you don't soccer mom drive them, because then the oils congeal up.
Okay.
But if you run them like a Stolen, they seem to last.
They made great rally cars. They were very successful rally cars because they had the engine. Engine gave them a low center of gravity at the front, and they handled really well. Sounds like you're still using the laptop mic, huh?
Shouldn't be. Yeah, actually, we're not because it's not registering there to show that the laptop mic is.
John M, you mean like this?
Oh, come on! Didn't I give you those hotline numbers for when you're having a problem? Okay, so 72Z28 is saying the 403 is referred to the Oldsmobile. Oh, Sal Dada, Olds 403 is a dog but doable for street strip. Okay, and then 72Z20 is saying the Olds 403 is a beast with the correct cam. The 403 Oldsmobile is like a boxer with a glass jaw. Okay, got a deadly, all kinds of deadly combinations he can throw, but one little and it's over. Okay, because it's the bottom end, man. The bottom end on those Oldsmobile motors is just sad. This is the size of the main bearing, okay? It takes like a quart of oil to like just each main bearing. And
all the oil's up in the heads.
And all the oil's up in the heads, right? every worked on or high performance 403 I've encountered in my life had a knock, a bottom end knock. Always. It's like
There's so much bearing speed with the big mains.
Yeah.
They just fry.
You can't pump enough oil into the bearing at high RPM to keep everything happy.
Okay, I can't believe Kiwi is still alive after contacting Tony.
Mhm.
He tolerates me. Just, but he doesn't.
Yes, you're right. The 403 has too much displacement for the bottom end, but it's fun. Yeah, it's not fun when you got to throw a crank in it every time you turn around. Buddy Carafano had an old 403 in the Trans Am. It was gutless. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had, right before I started doing this channel, I mean, like literally like weeks before I started doing this channel, I had a local kid. His mother was one of my car customers for years. Okay. And the kid ended up with a Trans Am, like a 78, 79 Trans Am. I had the 403 in it. And it was a stone. It wouldn't run, right? So it was an auction car. So they brought me the car and I played around with it. I don't remember exactly what was wrong with it, but I just gave it a basic going over and it ran respectably. It ran okay. And I give the car back to him and like 2 weeks later, he pulls up in front of my house.
I know what you've been doing. Yeah.
It's like, that's all of them. They all go like that.
Now, Terence said that when you touched the mic and moved it, they didn't hear anything change.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you get this live on the phone now? And then if you go in another room, you can judge the sound.
We can shut the door and keep them in.
No, we could do that.
I got my keys. I can fucking go.
But nobody's.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Unlike every other live we've ever done, nobody's complaining about the sound. So there's got to be something to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sunbird said, I think you're using the laptop mic. Well, let's figure it out. Did you guys hear Tony tapping it then? Oh, okay. Jeff Hutchins. Yep, mic's working. I don't know. We're getting two different. That mic knock was barely audible. There you go.
Dickie Farley's saying the sound is fine.
I give up.
Okay. Anthony Perna, Tony, I really disagree with you, but you need to build a 403 for low mid-range power. That's where it shines. Okay, I'm not arguing with that. I put an 86 cutlass salon. I used a comp 268 cam with 7350 heads, high compression pistons.
It's it's a laptop mic.
It is a laptop mic. Then why is nobody complaining about the fucking mic?
They're used to it.
No, Sunbird, no tapping, wrong mic.
The boom isn't working.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to. I'll figure this out. Tap the laptop. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to buy Mexican specs car?
Nothing on mic tap. All right. Ms. D. I've heard from the grapevine that the Boxer engine will oval out the cylinders on the bottom side. I always thought it was a load of bull. Any thoughts?
Are they kind of implying that like gravity's holding, like wearing the weight of the piston with the ball being on its side is causing the wear? That if that's what they're saying or implying, that's bullshit.
No.
Rocco said we complain every week, yellow. Bit of echo, but not that bad. Oh well, when we got a bit more time, we'll work on this.
Jay Breezy, Tony, have you ever seen a 727 big block transmission stamped with a small block trans casting lever?
Chris Cadman, no, I think he'd lose his mind.
What's that?
Chris Cadman said lean in and give you a noogie.
No noogies, no purple nurple.
I think he'd lose his mind. I really do.
William Beardsley, hi, have any of you guys ever built or driven an Avanti?
I've driven one. It was
Really?
Yeah.
I've never driven one.
One of the guys I worked for in Vegas, he had one and he brought it in one day and I'm like, here, give me keys.
I can see that being in Vegas. I can see the Avanti being a car, I can
It
picture it on the strip.
It was, yeah, well, it was a piece of crap, but it was, it was,
It didn't look like it. It looked so futuristic.
yeah,
You
but
know?
it was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. It's, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So the Avanti was a letdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was expecting, the supercharged Avanti, go smoke tires, have a good time. And it was just like,
So Ms. D said,
car.
thank you, Kiwi. What are you thanking me for, Ms. D? I'm not sure what I did.
Just for being you.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be too.
The yellow shirt has brightened her day.
This is orange. You guys are colorblind.
What's the
It's
yellow?
McLaren orange.
it's orange here. It's yellow on the.
Oh, it is a bit, I suppose, yeah.
Well, it's yeah.
Different coloured screens.
Mhm.
Next people are going to want us to put on makeup to go with our beautiful voices. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No, we can't afford a makeup artist.
Sir, that is yellow. Zero says.
It's McLaren orange. It's a McLaren shirt. Can't you see? No, you probably can't. Yeah.
Let's see.
Black and gold, baby. Ready for playoffs. Here we go.
Mike, and I have a 2021 Leghorn chicken. What kind of laying feed do you recommend? Bluebonnet, Eggland's best. I've been out of chickens for a few years now, man. Been out of chickens for a few years.
Welcome to Tech Wednesday.
It's Chicken Wednesday, yeah.
How to tune up your chicken.
Purina Leia was, I think, the thing to use. Yeah.
What was the chicken crack stuff?
Oh, that's a flock party. It's crazy. It's crazy. You don't think of chickens as being anything as other than like deep fried.
Yeah,
Right?
and they can just
You know what I mean?
turn around so these guys can see the back of my McLaren shirt.
Oh,
See that?
that's a nice McLaren shirt.
Mm-hmm.
McLaren orange.
Yeah.
You're colorblind. Every last one of you.
You don't think of chickens being anything but like food, okay? But they actually do have personalities, and they have things that they really like and things that they don't like. And this flock party, they have different mixtures, right? But it's corn and it's mealworms, dried out mealworms, and like raisins and stuff like that, okay? They freak for this shit. They could all be like scattered around doing their thing in the yard, like picking up bugs or doing it, right? And they hear the bag, and they turn around all in unison and they rush you.
It's like a dog with a cheese wrapper. They just.
It's crazy. No, you know what? I've never seen a dog react as severe and like as the chickens do to flock party.
It's their dinosaur instinct. They're just like food.
Whatever it is, yeah. I went through a lot of that stuff just because it was so much fun, having the chickens freak out.
Bill McCosker, it looks like Prairie Gold. It does a bit look like Prairie Gold, actually.
Let's see. Mike,
What's a 473-3 transmission? I give up. What's a 473-3 transmission?
It's 2 less than a 473-5.
Or is it the third version of the 473?
Tick
Yes.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes, all of the above.
Look how chickens spend their day. Dinner time is the highlight of their lives. It's always dinner time when you're a chicken. That's what they do. Rocco is
Ms. D. Yeah, see, she's right. Being a McLaren shirt, it has to be papaya orange.
Mm-hmm.
It is a beautiful orange. I wish you weren't wearing it so I could, I could admire the color without it.
You just want to touch it, don't you? You want
No,
to touch the shirt.
I don't want to
You
touch
can touch the shirt.
I don't want to touch the shirt.
Sure.
It's a nice
okay.
color. That's as far as I'm going to go, and I'm only going to admire it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chris, no, anytime a chicken is awake, it's dinner time. That's all they do is they eat. That's their total trip. Yeah, Zero, flock party at Chicken Walker Ranch. I miss those days, I really do. But Kathy ended up with a serious case of histoplasmosis, which is histoplasmosis.
Right.
It's a lung infection
Ooh.
that comes from the chicken poop.
Oh, okay.
And some people are sensitive to it. That's why you're not supposed to have chickens in residential neighborhoods.
Huh.
Because the bacteria from their poop gets picked up by the wind when it dries out, gets picked up by the wind, it gets blown around. And if you're susceptible to this histoplasmosis, it'll get you, even if you live like, 500 feet away.
How is it that you can say histoplasmosis, but you can't say my business name?
That was your business name. Kiwi's histoplasmosis.
That's like an 8-syllable word that is just rolling off your tongue like a piece of cake. And Kiwi Classics and Custom has been like just brain blocking you for 2 years.
No, I'll get it right eventually. I'll get it right. Someone is feeling left out. Who is feeling left out, Chris Cadman?
Yeah, where is Mexican speak? Kiwis, histoplasmosis and customs. Good lord.
So anyway, yeah, we had to get rid of the chickens because Kathy, she cleaned the coop one day, and like literally she was almost dead. Like for a couple of weeks, she couldn't take more than 2 steps without just like falling over. I mean, literally just falling over. So yeah, it was brutal. So we had to get rid of the chickens, and it took her a few months to get over it.
Well, they should figure out what it was.
I had to figure it out.
Right.
The doctors had no idea. I actually had to do the research and figure out what it was.
It sounds about right for doctors.
Yeah.
Mm. Something doggy coins. Have you ever tried water down the carburetors to decarbonize valves?
Sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Works good. You just don't use too much.
It's old school.
Oh, yeah, the little hydraulic.
Yeah.
And yes, it does work. Make sure the engine's good and hot when you do it. If as long as the engine is hot, right, you're just wasting your time.
One of the cool trick I saw decades ago when I was a teenager working at a Toyota franchise, and they had trouble with the little Toyota Corollas glazing the bores from very new. People wouldn't drive them hard enough when they were new.
Boraxo.
Comet.
Same thing.
Yeah. Straight down the car, like pour it down, like wide open throttle. Pour the shit down there until it almost killed it. You do that for 30 seconds and then like hand it back to the customer and say, there you go, and cure the problem.
Yeah, try to get on the freeway once in a while. Go.
Yeah.
In the old days, it was common to get stuck valves because the gasoline would gum. The old formulations of gasoline would gum, and you'd get intake valves. Usually intake valve would stick and it'd be pop up through the carburetor. So you drive along, it's like pop, 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 and the fix for that was transmission fluid. You rev the motor to around 1,500, 2,000 RPM, and just start guzzling ATF down it, and the ATF would get around the valve stems, break up the gum, and it would free itself right up.
'72 Z28. You haven't lived until you've hydrolocked an engine.
Happens.
Jojo and Sons Garage. Hey Kiwi, what's the update on the Plymouth wagon? Yeah, no updates at the moment. She's been parked for a couple of weeks. Just so busy at work. I'm trying to get it back in the shop for a couple of evenings to throw some ball joints and stuff. But I am going to a Cars and Coffee in Columbia on Saturday.
Are you gonna be featured there?
Well, hopefully, yeah.
You're gonna put like stanchions around you?
Yeah, like a little rope.
You sign autographs?
Meet and greet.
Give away.
Yeah.
Signed autographs.
Give away my merch.
Nice. I may come there.
So I'll probably do a video on that one with Marge, like playing with the Mike Wolfs of this world.
Yeah, I may show up there just to get a picture with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like $1.50 for a picture.
With
And
an
it's
autograph,
like
it's
$2.50 if you want the old armor in.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
Tony's video for Thursday: how to diagnose your wife with factory parts.
Let me tell you something.
That's
I've
pretty
done
funny.
a lot of medical diagnosis over my years. Doctors don't want to do it. They just want to. Look, they get money. They make money off of testing, and that's about it. They don't make money giving you answers. They make money testing.
And commission for your medications.
And commission for your medication.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, long before there was the internet, I had books. You name it. I would research, and I've fixed myself and members of my family many times.
Yeah, here we go. Kay Nelson, this one for you, Tony. Can you explain how a trans brake works for a dummy like me?
It locks it in forward and reverse gears,
Ah,
is what it's doing.
okay.
You lock it forward and reverse, so the transmission can't move, right? And then once you release it, it releases the reverse and you go forward.
And how quick does that happen? Pretty quick.
Instantaneously.
Right.
But it's violent. It's really hard on the
It's the electronic neutral drop.
yeah. I believe it's harder than a neutral drop, to tell you the truth.
You think the shock is worse?
Yeah, because think about it, right? When you neutral drop, you're shocking through the whole unit. But when you release a trans brake, you're only shocking through half
The drop line back, yeah, you got the
Right.
drive shaft back, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have that converter push.
Yeah, right. You don't have all that cushion along the way to take up the blow.
Mhm.
So you just put the trans brake on and just hammer the throttle, like wide open throttle, and then just.
Yeah, to all the way up against the converter. And,
Yeah.
And then let go. And
There you
that's how you smoke a transmission and brake parts.
Bill Eichler is saying you three are absolutely the dream team, Hurricane Bill. Okay.
Okay.
John M. So which is better, line lock or trans brake? Two completely different things. The line lock is only there to hold the car stationary when you do a burnout.
Yeah.
Right?
It won't hold you on the start line.
Right.
Well, you'll just skip the front wheels through the beam, won't you?
I thought you were one of these
Oh, I know, a little
road
bit.
racing kind of guys.
I am. We don't have line locks in the
So
car.
what do you
at all.
know about?
Nothing. I'll shut up. Okay.
Okay.
Just got told, I think.
I can't believe you actually had a drag racing, like, like a solid drag racing sort of.
The other night when we went, I'm pulling up to the Christmas light, and I'm like, how do I know when I'm far enough in? But it just completely left my brain. Like, it's been so long, since I've been on the drag strip, and I'm like, I think I'm looking for another light, and then I saw the light go on in the other lane as the guy crept forward. And it's like, oh, okay. So I went through and put one light on. I didn't realise you had to actually put the second light on as well.
Yeah.
So the guy's sat over there probably waiting for me, going like, what the heck's this clown doing? He's doing what he doesn't know how to do. That's what he's doing. But I figured it out. Richard Stanberry, Kiwi, I like the video on the 66 Barracuda. Tell me, is it okay if I use a starter from a Dakota on my 273 in my Barracuda?
So,
Should be, shouldn't it? Dakota would have an LA in it, wouldn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
think of that.
No, Magnum.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Chrysler anymore then.
Right.
But yeah, you can. That's
Yeah.
that's what Big Richard had. It's got the new style mini starter.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
so I want to make a confession.
Yeah.
I have to make a confession, okay? Because he's talking about the lights, pulling up to the lights. All right. So since I'm a kid, anytime I've been to the track with friends, I'm screwing out the cars, right? I'll always make a pass at their car and go quicker than they did.
Mm-hmm.
100% of the time. And I've made bets with people. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you've gone whatever, $50 says like quicker than that in the first pass,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I always do it. And I have a way.
What's the way?
Stage the car sideways.
What?
Yeah. Whenever you're going to drive somebody else's car, you want to blow their minds, right? Just make them just like give up on life. Charlie Romano, you watching this? Is Charlie here? Because I did it to you, Charlie. So what you do is you clean the tires, okay? And when you pull into the, I can't believe I'm giving away my lifelong secret over here. This is like the bar bet that just makes money. All right, so after you clean the tires and you pull into the staging lanes, you pull in sideways. You pull in on an angle, okay?
Right.
And you just creep forward until the bottom bulb flickers. As soon as the bottom bulb flickers, even just a little bit, you stop right there. Okay. Now, when you take the green, when you leave, you've got the front tire. Remember, the clock, it doesn't start until
So you break the beam.
until you break the beam. So now the front tire has to roll all the way through the beam, and then where the beam would normally be broken, the back tire, or the one that's you're on an angle,
Right.
is just starting to cover the beam. So you get a rolling start.
Good news. That makes a difference.
It's worth a tenth.
Really?
It's worth a tenth.
Wow.
If you stage normally, like, you know, like, I don't even mean deep stage. I mean, just pull in dead straight and like typical, okay, you put on the pre-stage bulb and you roll forward and you put on the stage. And generally you're into the stage beams for, you know, 2 or 3 inches. Okay, so you'll roll forward and stop. But if you pay really attention to the stage beam and you get it sideways and you just barely, I'm telling you, you just creep it like this until the light goes, and then you stop.
That's the second bulb you're in?
Second bulb.
The second bulb.
Okay, and now when it goes green, the front wheel, where the front wheel will be leaving the beam to start the timer, the back wheel or the staggered wheel is just starting to come into the beam. So you're actually out, you know, you've just taken like 2 feet off the drag strip.
Good Lord.
And you're doing it at the starting line where it has the most time value.
A neutral drop only works if the car is moving.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure about that. Roll out, head start.
Yep.
Tony teaching us how to cheat. It's not cheating.
It's no, really, you're not
No.
cheating. You're just
No.
not saying, hey, you know, I'm going to stage the car sideways and just take off the beam on.
What's on to be? What style 7 1/4 shore grip in the Barracuda? Cone or clutch? Which would it be?
Clutch.
Clutch type.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was surprised when that car had a little bit of slip. That's fairly uncommon.
K. Nelson, didn't funny cars right? Yes. Actually, that started, Garlitz is one who started that with the staggered wheels in 1960. First did it in like 66 or 67, the NHRA banned it. And then in 71, I think, 70 or 71, the chassis builders, whoever comprised the SFI, which was SEMA, the SFI before them was what was SFI before was SFI?
Society for Engineers or whatever it was.
The chassis builders got the NHRA to change the rules and allow them, because now they're going to make money retrofitting all of these axles. So around 1971, 1972 it became the standard thing, and then everybody had staggered, and they allow a 2-inch difference in wheelbase side to side. That's for funny car and for top fuel.
So if the wheel that's, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, like, so the wheel that's slightly further forward,
Yes,
whether it be from the axle offset or
yes.
parking on an angle. So what does the second wheel has to trip, the one further back has to trip the beam before, and that's when your time starts?
The time starts, so here's the beam, right? Here's the beam.
Yeah.
The start line. So the time starts, here's the tire in the beam, okay?
Yeah.
So the time starts when the beam is allowed.
Oh, full access.
Right.
I'm with you.
There you go, okay.
Yeah.
There's your 2 front tires.
Right.
Yeah.
The back of this one's going to clear for the clock.
Ah, okay. Now,
Right.
now it makes sense.
Right.
Okay, I get it. So I was thinking once it's tripped by the forwardmost wheel, but it's not. It's only set by the forwardmost.
Forward, right, set by the forwardmost wheel and
Triggered
triggered
by
by
the
the
rear
back of the rear
Yeah,
wheel.
now it makes sense. I'm a bit slow, but I get there eventually.
You will drive people crazy. Why did I give away that secret? Because I'm old now, and I'm never going to be surrounded by a bunch of guys at the track with their cars all making these laps after laps after laps. Those days are over, so I might as well just have fun with it.
In cahoots with Christ, Tony is today. In today's video, you called out rebuilt transmission companies. Does the company you're referring to begin with a J and end with an Asper?
It's okay. People are like, you know, you should name the company. No, it's not my place to name the company because I'm not directly involved in it. Okay, just like when he and I do these videos with these, you know, wrecks that come into his shop. When we can trace it directly to, and the customer says it came from this shop and this is the shop that did it, right? Then we could say something. When it's not our deal, you know, you can't. If it was me, I had the problem firsthand, then I would have no problem calling out the shop. but because it's somebody else's situation, and they didn't say, hey, here's all the paperwork, here's all the evidence that it was this company, then it's just hearsay, and it's not right to do that.
And you can get yourself in trouble. Like it's.
Well, you can only get yourself in trouble if there's no documentation.
Yeah. So you're really making, you're.
Well, I don't worry about that.
Presenting accusations as facts, and that's where you get yourself in trouble.
Sue me. I so don't care. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and sue me. But it's not my place. If I didn't have the deal myself, or I don't have the exact documentation, no, it's just not right.
Hot rod Monza, I run like 4 inches of stagger on dirt. That's for a different reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Well, they have a rolling start.
Right. Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it's still to do with getting them to turn in because they only turn left. But yeah, a lot of people told me I should should name I did a 72 Mustang, 72 or 3 a while back that the shop had repaired it and the motor broke on startup and they just gave it back to him and told him bad luck. At least that's the story I got. He was not interested in pursuing them any further. He just wanted it fixed. He had quite a bit to say about the particular shop. None of it good, but he didn't want to. He didn't even want to tell me the name of the shop. He just told me that they were shysters. I could have figured it out from the location, but sometimes you do need to hear both sides of the story.
See that Mike broke her. 2 different retiring engine machine shops. Neither guy will take the time to teach me anything after offering to buy them out. These guys are taking their knowledge to the grave. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get that either, honestly. I don't understand that either. People taking secrets to the grave with them. It's like, is it really that important? You know what I mean? Is it really?
I mean, how to bore a small block Chevy?
Right.
Yeah, come on.
The secrets will die with me.
Good.
Goodbye. Bye.
And sometimes those secrets aren't that secret.
No. They're just all cranky a-holes, yeah.
Richard Stanley, what is the point of underhood insulation? Is there a reason to have it? Yeah, I wonder about that myself sometimes too.
It's a sound. It's just literally, it's a sound deadening thing. You've got a big steel hood over your engine,
right,
that is just going to act almost like a megaphone for any clacking, any little valve train noise or anything like that. When they put that in the cars when they were new, it was sound deadening, not heat or anything like that, because it actually keeps heat in. So it was just about making them quiet. Like the Caddies and the Oldsmobile Buicks kind of had lots of sound deadening under them. Because, they in an ideal world, you couldn't tell they were running. That's kind of what the engineers were going for.
Yes, Fred Gomez, Garlitz did have, they all did. It became the standard around 1971.
That's a good idea, actually.
Let's see. If I do what you're 20, but be careful, don't read that. The AI will get us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You be really careful what you say. The AI picks out words,
Yeah. They're like, what?
Jay Wise, Kiwis dressed like the yellow wiggle. That's rude.
From the Wiggles.
From the yellow. Oh, I used to know their names when my kids watched them.
Yeah. Kiwi, there's one for you.
What's that? What is it?
Anthony Perno.
Hey guys, I have a really high-end used radiator I bought from a stick car. He never plugged the transcooler holes. Now the cooler is rusty. My car has a C4. How big of an external cooler do I need? Not terribly big. Unless you're working it real hard.
For just a driver, yeah, not that.
Yeah, not terribly big.
And have you ever seen what what the cooler looks like inside the tank?
There's not a lot of it. It's
Yeah,
a tube, it's
yeah.
a tube that runs basically along from one end, to the other end of the bottom tank or side tank. Anyway,
I'd say it's fair to say that the smallest aftermarket transmission cooler that you can find is going to be
Would be
more
adequate.
than would be in the factory radiator.
I mean, if you're towing a big fifth wheel, with your C4, which
Well, not only
probably
that, but
unlikely.
if you think about it, so an internal transmission cooler can only cool the transmission fluid
to as cool as the water,
as cool as the engine is. So if the engine is running at 200 degrees.
the transmission.
Transmission flow is 200 degrees,
Right.
which is, it doesn't like that.
But I mean, they all do it. They all have them, so that they obviously do some, serve a purpose.
So FUBAR, being the
Yes.
ever helpful
Doctor,
FUBAR, put up the link to Dr. Art's channel, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab, and then a link to my merch. Yes, because you can buy this shit right here, right? You styling, okay? Yeah. And then Kiwi has nothing. Just nothing.
one day.
But he did learn to share videos.
I did learn to share videos.
That's why sharing is caring.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Everyone,
Where's the
everyone
Kiwi
should learn to
merch?
share. Yeah.
Kiwi does not love you people enough to offer merch. Dr. Art loves you enough to offer merch.
Go to one of my videos and on the bottom and buy something. Kind of, you might be one of the first ones.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Kiwi merch McLaren shirt. Yeah, there you go.
Sell them that one. I get you a Sharpie, just write Kiwi on it,
Just
and
sign
sell them that. Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll do that.
Let's see. Contrary Kiwi merch.
Jeff Hutchins. Thanks, mate.
Howard Monza, I want a separate cooler for the trans because I rock crawl out with a 4runner. It has a fan. The Howard Monza, are you familiar with Dex's Jeeps? Howard Monza, so you see you're into the rock crawling thing. Have you watched this guy's videos? I'm just going to wait till he answers.
Mhm.
Joe K, idea for Kiwi, the Scat Pack Bumblebee, but with a Kiwi bird in place of the bee. There you go. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
It's definitely not bad.
You put that stripe on the back of your truck.
Yeah.
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 Or you could do like a road runner. You
Come
could
up the side, that vertical stripe.
Yeah.
you could do that with the Kiwi.
Yep. Yeah, they're not renowned for being super fast.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Nobody
You
knows
just
that.
lean the drawing forward and they look like they're going fast.
Uncle Tony, what would you consider to be the gateway drug to get into an opera? Oh. I mean, the only operas I really enjoyed or paid attention to were rock operas, and they're not even like the Who. Well, that was Tommy. That was like the first. But I prefer Zappa's. Thingfish was just amazing. Okay, and Joe's Garage. Who doesn't love Joe's Garage? Those are operas. More than that, I never really got into the classic type of opera.
Bill McCusker.
He's always very generous.
He is.
He is. Thank you, sir. As far as functionality, what are the advantages and disadvantages of screw blowers versus centrifugal superchargers? Okay. You're a forced induction guy.
No pressure.
Oh no, it's
No pun intended.
a screw blower on top of the engine. You can't compete with that for cool factor.
Right.
Oh, but wait. We have to define terms now. We have to define terms.
As far as functionality.
Because
What are the advantages?
he's saying a screw blower, but you're talking about a roots style blower, and you have two different types. You have the normal helix, which is a copy of the GMC, and that's the normal, like the standard 471, 671, 871, or the 871 is never found in nature, and so on and so forth, right? So that's a standard helix. A screw style roots blower has it's a high helix blower. So instead of it being the two
To have a twist, it's like 12 twists.
Yeah, big twist, right? Screw blower. So we need to define
Yeah,
those terms.
that's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the centrifugal blowers, they're usually
That's one that's belt driven like half a turbo, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's if you have the side room for it, but they cost about the same. So unless you're drag racing because you want a little bit more compacted under the hood, but if you're just looking to have a blower and you got the same amount of money, I'd put that root style on top of the manifold every time.
I guess. What about intercoolers? Because when
Well,
that centrifugal one, it's easier to flow through.
Yeah, the centrifugal one you can regulate the boost a little bit better.
Right.
Well, no, you can actually run it through an intercooler.
Yeah, run it through an intercooler.
I mean, they do it. They like the Hellcats and shit. Like all
Yeah.
the factory ones run through an intercooler, but it's difficult. There's a lot of plumbing involved.
Yeah, that brick is kind of restrictive.
Yeah, but when you've got a remote, and even at that, your intercooled passages are directly affected by engine heat because it's all packaged together like that. But when you've got like a Pro Charger, you got a centrifugal blower mounted off to the side. Well, then the heat never interfaces with.
Because your intercooler's up front, or you got a
Right.
air to water or something.
That's why on the Hellcats,
They
had to use the AC. They had to plumb the AC through the intercooler to combat the engine heat that would defeat the heat loss through the intercooler. So
They ran the AC through the intercooler?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. So obviously doesn't cut out when you hit full throttle.
Well, in that case, it's actually used to make power.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. Roots requires a lot of power to tune, parasitic loss.
Mike's Mopar Shop, just wondering if you guys have seen the Broder Performance channel. Speedmaster is copying his valve bodies and using the Broder name on counterfeit parts as well. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I've seen something like that. There's a little blurb on it. Yeah, some guy's got like some patented part and some Chinese people just copy it and sell it.
Oh, Ryan, thank you for the super chat, Ryan. I meant to ask, what is the gateway drug to get into Mopars? But autocorrect changed it Mopars to Opera. Okay, geez, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were asking me about Opera, man. I don't know.
Seems a reasonable question to ask.
The gateway drug to get into Mopars. You mean for you? What would the thing to get you involved in Mopars? Geez, I don't know. To be perfectly honest with you, I couldn't imagine anybody from the modern era getting into Mopars. I mean, seriously, it's such an ancient and archaic thing. I'm surprised every day that there are people that are into these cars and new people getting into them.
Dude, the only way I can think, if he wants to go buy like a mid-'80s Dodge, small block pickup truck and just use it for, daily and messing around and stuff like that, and start playing with that and get addicted to.
Yeah, find a
it's
Dakota.
Weirdness, and then
find a Dakota with a 5.2 and a stick, and that's a fun package.
That's a sideways getting truck. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a lot. I mean, the gateway drug depends a lot on your budget, doesn't it? I mean, a mid-late 60s A-body would be, a great way to get involved in it too, but you need a little bit of coin for that. Just get one Mopar part and you'll end up with more of them.
Yeah, they tend to, let's see. Gordon Walker, tell me, how many of the Dodges you own have the original engine in it? My 74 Duster has the original Slant 6 in it. Yeah, no, nothing else is original. Everything else has been swapped in.
Erkos, welcome aboard, man. Good to see you here. He likes the contrast between my orange shirt and your black one.
Right.
Where's Tavo? Actually, I haven't seen Tavo in July.
Tavo was in here a little while ago, wasn't he?
Was it? Didn't see him.
He's always around somewhere.
Yeah. Probably somewhere drinking Foster's.
Oh, jeez. Oh yeah, Joe K. Mrs. Landy. Okay, so I've got two. Mrs. Landy has the original 170 slant. Thank you, man. These guys know my cars better than I do.
It's a worry, isn't it?
It's a little weird.
Sean Fagan, 87 LeBaron and build the 318. You'd pick up an 87 LeBaron pretty cheap, wouldn't you?
Danny Boy, don't Bottle Rocket have its original 318? No, the 318 is in Bottle Rocket. The original 318 from Bottle Rocket I gave to Andy and David to do that Mission Impossible thing.
Someone's calling us Mo, Curly, and Larry.
I would have thought Manny, Mo, and Jack.
Richard Stanbury, I don't know why, but I've always wanted an 024. What's an 024?
Plymouth Horizon. It was like the Dodge Omni.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those cars were great. They go
actually
through anything. They go through snow, up hills, through mud. Yeah.
You know, occasionally here in the area, I see there's a couple of K cars that are still out there on the road all the time. You see them, right?
Yeah.
Out in traffic.
Mm-hmm. In the occasional rampage.
There's, you know what I saw on Marketplace today? There's a 1979 Plymouth Arrow.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
You saw that? $1,000?
I seen the Arrow. Yeah.
No title.
So.
Right? And it's stick and it runs and drives and it's $1,000 and it's got the 2.6 Mitsubishi motor in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun car.
That was a Mitsubishi Celeste, wasn't it?
You mean in
The Arrow, the Plymouth Arrow.
I don't know what they
That's
call
that
it.
little fastback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, well, I mean, the Japanese and New Zealand, Australian market, they were Celeste.
So, like the
Mitsubishi
girl named
Celeste.
Celeste,
Yeah.
Celeste?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were quite popular for funny cars for a while, weren't they?
One of the most beautiful funny car bodies ever, if you ask me.
Right.
They
Yeah,
just fit perfectly. Like picture for Dome's 70, 76, 77.
Just elongated and it's got the right shape.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They look weird when you know they were so popular as funny car bodies, and when you see one that isn't like stretched to be a funny car, it looks weird.
Why is it
Yeah,
small?
what's missing here? But yeah, there's one on Marketplace for $1,000. I came that close, honestly. The message like, I mean, buy that, right? But I just don't need another thing.
You could put a YJ motor in it.
What? No, I would.
No, he wants your nail head.
No, yeah, put the nail head in the Arrow.
No, I wouldn't want to put any engine. I would leave it just the way it is. They were great, fun cars.
They had a 2.6 in it because the Japanese New Zealand market only had 2 litres from memory.
Yeah, take that 2.6, put a turbo on it.
Yeah.
You only have 2 liters. They were afraid to give you the other 0.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nanny state. Joe Wolf, thank you for the super chat, Joe Wolf. Do you guys have any tips on what to look for in a C-body Mopar?
No.
Not really. They're pretty bulletproof. I mean, they're solid cars. Trunk rock is usually the only thing you find on those things.
Depends what part of the country you buy it in, but
Depends what part of the country you buy it in. But they're solid, really well built cars. They use high quality metal. It's a great engineered car. They don't have any. There's no like classic C-body issues. You know what I mean? Other than the typical rust.
And they're built as a cruiser, so they're never really ragged out. And
They make great drivers. They really do.
Yeah, someone said Silver Airlines Pro. Is there a way to figure out what vehicle my 318 and trans came out of?
What is it now?
This one here. Is there a way to figure out what vehicle my 318 and transmission came out of?
If it's a 1969 or newer, okay. 69 is a partial year. If it's 1970, for sure it's 1970 or newer. You're going to find a flat pad on the passenger side of the engine at the bottom of the pan rail, and that will have the original car's VIN number stamped into it. And if you look at the transmission on the side of the bell housing, you'll see another rectangular raised pad, and that will have the car's VIN number stamped into it.
Danny Boyd said, does the Retriever tow truck have its original engine?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Uncle Tony should grab an AMC.
I don't want any more cars. I'm good. I'm good. I just picked up my 5th XJ. I know I have 5. I have 5 XJs. And I owe the 5th one to Dex. Right? Because Dex is guiding my head. Right? So, yes, no, I have 5 XJs. And I'm done. No more. I'm not adding anything else.
Urkos said, raise your hand if you made an international video this week. Not sure what you mean.
You made a video on internationals,
Oh,
don't you? You don't follow your own
And
channel. do you?
International Scout, yeah.
You don't follow your
oh
own
my
stuff.
God.
That's good. I mean,
That's my other split personality that made that.
no, it shows your ego is really in check. You don't even know what to put out there.
I was thinking like overseas international. I didn't like do it. Okay. Yeah, it takes it. I'm a bit slow. But I put that out last week. Wake up, Kiwi. Thanks. If I had a bourbon here, I'd be all right. I'd be on it. I'd be like, no.
Winging it with Tracy, a call with a friend is always a better option. I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. The unibody is superior in just about every possible way.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. They really are. Urkos, I just had a bourbon and coke for you. Good. Good on you, mate. What sort of bourbon are you drinking, Eric?
Chris Camden, hello.
What's on it to be? Does XJ mean the 11th version? No, it means man's greatest achievement, the XJ. And I stand by that.
Jack Black. Very good.
Why would XJ be 11? X would be 10, and J is not 1. There's it'd be the 10th G. Yeah.
11th.
Why? Yeah. Why
Yeah,
X?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that those videos that I did for you today on the Jeep.
Yeah.
I sent them through to Kathy, and I just on the subject I put Tony's 53rd Jeep XJ.
She sent her the videos, right? And she shows me the video. She says, "You're gonna destroy that Jeep." It's like, I'm not gonna destroy it. I'm just gonna take it to the woods and we're gonna have fun with it, right? Yeah. It's such a nice Jeep. This is the first time like she's like, every time I buy another XJ, she gets mad at me, right? She's like, "What are you doing with a freaking XJ?" So when she sees that one, she's like, "You're not gonna. I love that truck."
Was it the wheels, or what did she like about it?
I don't know. It looks, it looks better on video than it does in person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, there was go back up a little bit. I can't scroll from this monitor here. Just right about there. Somebody had an XJ for you, and it was a 96.
Yeah, no more. Oh wait,
no.
The computer. Over.
Yes, yeah. And we don't want the Jeep. Just send me the
just
computer.
Send the computer.
Just send the computer, please.
And the underhood wiring harness. I'll be happy to pay for it.
Yeah, or just.
Bill McKaiska, thank you so much. Very generous, Bill. The best way to get into Mopars is to get something with a 318 in it. And this is very true.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 by the age of 20. That's it. I had 2 before I even learned how to drive. The 318 in my truck was wore out and it wouldn't quit. The 318 in my dog was seized up when I got it and had it running in the afternoon. I mean, you're right about that. The 318, you can't argue with a gateway drug to a Mopar. Yeah, it's easiest, cheapest way to do it. This is your first small block Mopar.
Yes.
So you've done Fords, you've done Chevys.
I've done stuff to them, but I've never, went through and did a whole small block Mopar. No.
Right. But you've done every other type of engine.
Right.
Right. So how does the 318 stack up against, let's say, small block Chevy, small block Ford?
I was just talking to a buddy about this. It's got a couple little weird things, but they make sense once you're like, oh, that's why.
Okay.
Like the oil pump drive. It's geared off the back of the cam. It's just different instead of the gear out of the distributor and
Or the Ford thing that always falls into the pan.
Yeah. And spins the seat off.
Little.
Yeah, and kind of how you have to. We talked about this. How you got to use the nut on the cam to pull the snout of the cam through the top timing gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To get it loaded up, and it's got a little scraper of the thing. But it's got some cool stuff on it. That's just different.
Okay.
But there wasn't anything really, everything made sense in it. It was just a little different than some of the others.
Right.
Beefier.
Beefier, yeah.
Compare that 318 to like a 351 Ford or 302. Think of the
Well,
size
yeah,
of
I mean,
the connecting rods.
it's built. Yeah, it's like they take like a Ford part and go an extra 15%
Yeah.
mass.
Yeah, more or less.
Unlike the rods and things like that. Yeah, and it's the valve train is weird, but I like that it's up higher, so you don't have cam and crankshaft interference. It's just it's a little different, but it makes sense. Once you're like, oh, you kind of figure out, okay, there's a reason for this. Okay, okay.
I would say that the closest so not just architecture, right? Like the size of things, size of the crank, the rods, all that stuff. I would say that the closest Ford comparison to like an LA Mopar is an FE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Picture like a 390 connecting rod and the 318 connecting rod. And you can almost interchange them.
Right.
And then you put like a small block Ford one next to it, and it looks like a Barbie toy, right?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. Abel D, Dr. Art, is it possible to hack the wires on the Jeep harness to where you can flash the ECU without removing it, or can you access it via OBD2?
You just plug in through the OBD2 port.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how you like program. If they're in a car, you just plug it into the OBD2 port behind the dash. It's got all the back and forth talk and logic and stuff wired into the OBD2 port that your connector picks up and feeds your computer. So
where there's actually where the depth of field is different. I'm sitting about a half a foot in front of him.
It's saying your shoulders moving like you're narrower on this side than you are
on yeah. It's my hunch. I got the hunchback thing on. Yeah, it's spinal something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this? ICT car guy 316 Jeep 4.0 is highly overrated. Yeah, no. The abuse those engines take is off the chain.
Show everybody to go to Dex's Jeeps and watch what they do with even the 4-cylinder, the stock stuff.
Well, the 4-cylinder is the same as the 4.0 with 2 cylinders knocked off it.
Right, it's the same, and
it's the same thing.
And it's full send
all the time. I didn't even think those guys have auto return springs. I don't even think
they may have a hook that they can grab with their foot, to bring it off, but.
Nitro Mike, hey Kiwi, the Barracuda you fixed seemed like a very nice ride. It really is. It's a lovely car to drive. Just easy. It's very relaxing. You just drive down the road and it's just doing what you want it to do.
It's just odd looking.
Yeah, they're not everyone's cup of tea on looks wise.
But they're a nice driver.
Yeah, but it was a nice car to drive around.
Ryan Barkley, the 4-cylinder was released before the 4.0. No, the 4.0 is descended from the old AMC Typhoon 6, and they knocked 2 cylinders off to make the 4-cylinder. No, it was originally an AMC inline 6. Joe K, let's pretend that the XJ did not have the 4.0 in it. Would you still claim it's man's greatest achievement? It's a balance of things, and the 4.0 is a big part of it.
When did the EV preset accolades begin?
So someone was just go back up a bit, but someone was asking whether to choose a 340 or a 318 to go and do a 66 Barracuda. You'd have to go to 340, wouldn't you? If you had the choice, but 340s are a bit thin on the ground now, aren't they?
Yeah. You got to spend money on a 340.
Yeah, just a 318 with 340 heads.
Yeah, well, 340 is 360 heads. So 318 with 360 heads is a 340 minus. 20. Well, you got a compression deficit, which you could use a steel ship head gasket, and you could take like 60 off the head. You start to run into issues with that. But compression. The 360 used the same heads as the 340. A set of 360 heads on a 318 block, and you've essentially got a 340. minus 22 cubic inches. Well, you throw a set of pistons in there. And
It's a good deal. Local for a 360 Magnum and a 5-speed manual. Guy wants to trade it for a 69 440 core. I watched your video on the Magnum. Seems like it's a no-brainer. Yeah, that seems like a pretty fair deal.
yeah, I would.
I guess finding a 69 440 might makes it a little bit harder to find.
360 Magnum with the 5-speed. Yeah, I would go for that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's see.
380 Magnum, I think the 4-cylinder has a different stroke and bore. Since the Jeep engine is
I'm not sure about that. It's a 2.5, right? I don't know. You have to do the math. It does make a difference. It's still the same head, section down, take 2 cylinders off, the same block, section down, the same crank, section down. The bore and stroke may be different. I don't know, but even at a glance, if you look at the 4-cylinder at a glance, you think it's the inline 6, except it's not. It doesn't like stick way the hell out front. So they're the same engine.
James Martin, Kiwi, I was not baked but drunk under glass. Yeah, I saw your comment there, but that was entertaining. One of the guys commented on the video that I did on the Barracuda, saying that when he was younger, he kind of slept / passed out under the back glass.
Oh God!
Barracuda.
Microwave.
Microwave.
Oh jeez.
I bet you got baked, and he didn't know he was drunk, not baked, but play on words. Yeah.
Anthony Perna, no. You can't really do much with a Nomi D1 computer as far as tuning it. They're just it's a whole different animal.
Let's see.
If I replace the throttle position sensor on my 91S10, is there a reset? Dr. R.
91.
No.
91.
No, you just got to make sure check your TPS voltage.
That's still the CCC, right?
Yeah.
91?
Yeah.
Yeah. No resetting that.
No.
Swap it out.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't have to give it a 0 and 100%.
No, that's
setting.
91.
Tony's lining up. I thought he respected you guys. I do. I'm taking a couple of hits off of a freaking cigarette. They'll live. They're big boys. They're okay. But I'm not chain smoking the way I normally would.
Yeah, he's a lot better than he was. He's a lot better than he was, to be fair. Do a big block Jeep on the cheap.
Yeah. Maybe one of these guys will build one. I'm really enjoying the 4.0.
Anthony was trying to see what the tables were and try to transfer it into a Megasquirt or something like that. It's still pretty hard. You're better off building if you're going to go to Megasquirt, just build your own table. It was like a Ford or something like that, and just use a table off of 90 just a regular 302 that's OBD2.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you see, Glenn Fishcorn says, Tony, audio much better tonight. I don't get it.
Maybe the air conditioner is drowning out some of the echo.
It could be. I've got the AC on tonight, so maybe that's, I don't know.
Because Kiwi lets Marge smoke. Yeah, large Marge smoked a bit. Did you see me smoke the tyres on? You don't watch shorts, do you? You're above shorts.
I don't watch shorts. I don't have enough, please. I'm a long form guy. Okay.
Well, Marge did not too bad a burnout in the little short that I did.
What did you do a burnout with it?
Oh, a couple of weeks back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't have my phone.
I'll find it for you.
Okay.
So talk amongst yourselves.
This one's good. This was for you, Doc. All right, I think. Is there any reason to replace a GM tin DN with another tin DN alternator. It's still a regulator. Should I replace it with a tin SI instead? Does it really matter much?
I mean, if you're going to replace, like you said, yeah, watch them do the burnout. If you're just going to replace the voltage regulator,
Yeah.
just stick with what it has, and if you don't have any extra power needs, just back to factory.
Very nice. But you do know you made a mistake with the exhaust.
What's that?
Go back.
No bad.
On a wagon always has the exhaust over here.
That's actually the factory location.
But really?
Yeah.
Are you
true.
sure about that?
I'm sure about that. It had the factory exhaust mounts up under there.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about that because if it came out under here, it would be underneath the spare wheel.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. But typically, wagons have.
Yeah, they drop them out at the back of the wheel arch. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but they pointed it out at a 45-degree angle right out at the corner of the back bumper to try and stop that coming in the back window.
Yeah, he's got the big fit.
Yeah.
Moving
Stabilizers.
Yeah.
70 mile an hour.
Stabilizers.
At 70 mile an hour, they start to lean out.
Nice.
Only on the custom, not on the regular one.
There's one for you, Kiwi.
What's that?
Kiwi, have you considered doing a custom bodywork tutorials? The spoiler that you fabricated on the Barracuda notchback a while back was a work of art that completely changed the look.
It really did, yeah.
You know, what even says my work is like a work of art? I wonder why it is. I don't know. I'm just wondering out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should. It's harder than you think to, like, there's so much time goes into that custom bodywork to try and make a video that's not like hours long. It is, yeah, something I should try and do for sure. And I've tried to show little bits of it on that Cougar. Yeah, you kind of need, it'd be great, like these shows that have a full-time cameraman and they can just film you while you're working. And you're not trying to do it with a tripod or dragging one of the other guys off to hold the camera.
But then a lot of that, right, is going to be you looking at things.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, it's hard to
make it an entertaining video.
Yeah, like 70, I would guesstimate that 75% of the work that goes into something like that when he's doing a spoiler is all in his head, and you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to see about tick, 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 and a couple of spot rolls, but you're not going to see the actual wheels threading in his head when he's visualizing this and figuring how that angle's going to go. How do you make a video out of that? Unless you're bad Chad.
Yeah, don't compare.
Then it's just
don't compare
days of meth and Bondo and
Yeah.
Jolene is taking him for a ride, man. That's a brutal deal going on there. Ryan Barkley, thank you for the super chat. What do you three think? My 1996 XJ. I'm having problems with this. Starts instantly on a cold start in the morning. For the rest of the day, it will just crank and crank until I push the gas pedal 3/4. Any ideas? Yeah.
Yeah, your cold start injector is shit.
There is no cold start injector on that.
Well, there's a setting for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, because some engines do have.
A lot of them do have a cold
Yeah.
start. These don't, but that doesn't. That's more like a.
Okay, but you see, wait until he pushes the gas 3/4. So I tell you what I think is happening there. I think he's got an injector that's leaking down and flooding the motor.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's a combination. The injector's leaking down, right? And it's probably just a coincidence that he's got to go 3/4. So you've got the injector leaking down into that cylinder, which is going to flood that cylinder, but it's also going to depressurize the fuel.
So you got no fuel pressure until you crank for a few seconds and give it some gas to clear it out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
And yeah, once that injector's hot, it's just leaking down.
Let's see. Jeff Hutchins on Alan, you're right. Everybody thinks the 2000 and 2001 XJs are the best. No low pinion front axle is. Well, you know, those two years, 2000 and 2001, you get the coil unplugged, which is a troublesome deal with those, right? All the previous ones, you got a nice old school distributor, and the heads are prone to cracking on the 2000 and 2001. So
Weren't there like a lighter casting or something?
they changed the casting. I don't know. It cracks on the top surface, and evidently you can see it through the oil hole, the oil fill hole.
Oh, wow.
Chris Cadman will be your cameraman, Kiwi.
There you go.
But
He's
he's
usually
drunk.
drunk.
I'm usually drunk, that's all right.
So the
me.
both of you could be just hammer it in the shop. Yeah. You're drinking, buddy. We need film.
No problem.
Come on over. Come on down, as they say. Huh. Duke Dog 34 have a very similar issue with my O2 Buick Park Avenue. It was an injector. There you go. Someone else.
See? Yeah.
Backs up
yeah,
the theory.
Mr. Points knows a thing or two about this shit.
Fun with cars. I had an 88 XJS Jag V12, came stock with turbo 400 GM, AC compressor and Delco electronic ignition.
Yep.
Those XJSs made awesome touring cars. You ever seen one of those as a Group A touring car?
Mm-hmm.
The XJS Jag, they were beautiful and they sounded phenomenal.
See, I like the early Jags, like an E-Type is just great, but after that, they just didn't do it for me.
There's an E-Type for sale on Marketplace.
How much?
20 grand. Needs restoring.
Yeah, it's in a basket and it's 20 grand.
How much needs restoring?
Oh, it needs a bit of work, yeah. It's actually not bad. It's not terrible, but yeah, it's somewhat apart. But I mean, as soon as you touch a Jag, it's like the price.
I know. See, for me, it's not even the friggin' money. It's just the time. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And it's
You'd have to get rid of everything else.
I wouldn't be able to touch anything else. And I'm too old. Honestly, I'm too old to start
20
a
grand.
long-term project like that.
20 grand's fairly high for a starting point.
Depends
Like at 20 grand, then that's when you start the build. That property will need engine and trans and diff, and it'll need everything. So it'll be an $80,000, $100,000 restoration.
Yeah, but what's it worth though? I mean,
With a lot of money.
you know what I'm saying?
Done. They're worth a lot of money.
Right. So,
But I think it'd be awesome to hot rod one. An E-Type.
I would just
E-Type Jag.
just drive it and just beat the snot out of it and piss everybody off. And just
no, see, that's one of those cars that I would just no. I'd have to build a room onto my house for it.
Like a glass and
E-Type is one of those cars. There's a lot of cars that are like this that I really love. Okay, I marvel at them, but I don't want to own one. I don't want to own one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you own it, and I'll marvel at it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can caretake it.
Right.
Now,
once I looked at the E-Type and went, no, scrolling on, swipe left.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I did save it.
It is safe.
I
Yeah.
saved it. Couldn't
Just sell the Audi.
Just a,
or the Dodge pickup or
what a Dodge. Yeah, I don't think I'll get 20 for the Dodge pickup.
It's
It might with my Dodge. Yeah.
Yours.
I thought you meant old.
No.
Big Richard.
No,
Yours
like your one that you actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell it. It's for sale.
Anthony Pryor had an 89 XJS. It had an engine fire. Didn't they all? Didn't they all? Every one of them was an option. It was a factory option.
Yeah.
The pre-char. It was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
An engine fire, and whoever put it out got water in the motor. Engine rebuild parts are ungodly expensive. I ended up selling the parts.
Fun with cars. I bought a Jag XJS V12 for $490. That's cheap. Not running during COVID. Only made 312 horsepower and weighed on a ton. It was okay, but for every hour driving, 10 hours of fixing.
Yeah.
That was another
That
factory
sounds
option.
like an XJS. Yeah.
Right. Spitfire Mike is a 66 D-Guard 273, have the same horsepower as the 340. They were rated the same, yeah.
Oh, you were telling me about that D-Dart. Yeah.
Yes. 9788 Bex. See, is it XJ or XJS? It's like this is getting confusing now.
XJs, yeah.
Yeah, 9798 at best XJs. I agree with that. I have a 91 and a 96. I'm fine with that, but had to put a computer in the 96.
Shocking.
Shocking, surprisingly enough.
Even I've come to know that about
Yeah.
96 XJ.
But I do agree that 97, 98, 99 are the best year out of all of them. If you ask me, they nailed it in those 3 years.
Anthony Perner, yeah, I don't know why they put those little hoses on the injectors. They cause most of the fires. Okay.
I'm very familiar with that. Let's see. Cost. How about a budget three-way race-off between you guys? Tony gets a car off Marketplace, Kiwi off Craigslist, Art off of OfferUp. $1,000 total limit each, plus car parts. And do what with it?
Race it.
What-
Three-way race.
What
What
kind of race? A
racing?
drag race or an endurance race or
Off-road or?
a off-road or?
Oh,
I mean,
endurance race. Let's do it.
Well-
We'll do an 8-hour endurance race.
We'll take the $3,000 super chat and then we'll let you know what happens.
This is like advanced thought right there. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. I would love to do stuff like that, except how do you do it without like ripping off Top Gear? How do you do something like that without like?
Because it's just, it's fun, but it's been done.
Yeah, exactly. It's all been done.
But yeah, what hasn't been done?
It's like there were a few well-known automotive YouTubers that try to do this like Top Gear type of thing. It's cringeworthy. It's so cringeworthy.
Right. All the copies and all the tarnishes and when they do this.
So I'm like deathly afraid to approach these guys to do anything that even remotely resembles that.
But I think who could build the best burnout car for $1,000? Because for $1,000 you're not going to get much.
But,
No.
Unless you find like big Cadillac or something like that.
Well, it would have to be that each of us would build a burnout car, and then we would have to have a neutral driver drive each car, because then you got to take our individual talents out of it. You guys wouldn't stand a chance.
Get like your friend you had here today, or Evan or somebody to come down and.
We need somebody who's capable of doing it, and then they would just drive each car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down with something like that.
I mean, the best burnout's just going to be he's got the deepest tread on that tyre, really, and he's just going to prepare to sit there long enough.
Well, see, but most cars for $1,000 off Marketplace, they maybe don't run, so.
True. You weld up the diff and just
do
donuts.
Let's see.
Chris Freemason, don't drag race. Tony has a secret of always winning races.
Well, the secret is to out-ETing people in their own cars, which is more fun than beating them in your own car. Let me tell you.
Brendan Hart, hey guys, I was wondering, does a first gen Hemi crank 331, 54, or 392 fit in a 318, 340 LA?
It does not.
It does not.
It does not. Not even close.
Different back, not even close. No.
Yeah, it's just physically, it's a longer, bigger crank. The DeSoto crank, the DeSoto Hemi crank, comes very, very, very close.
There you go.
And then there was silence.
Jennifer Allen. It's kind of it's the smoking engine question night, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Hello guys, why does my 1974 454 Chevy smoke out of the right side exhaust under full throttle, but no smoke under normal drive?
Under full throttle. It's got to be a weak set of rings. A stuck oil ring. I would say you probably got a stuck oil ring in one of the cylinders or two of the cylinders on that side.
Yeah, one or two are blowing by real bad off that side.
Yeah, Rocco's saying, Brennan, no, but I think a poly 318 crank will fit into an LA.
Yeah, poly 318 will, absolutely. Poly is exactly the same.
Is there an advantage in doing that?
The poly
is a stronger crank? But I mean, the 318 LA doesn't have a crank problem, does it?
No, not at all. If it has any problems, the crankshaft ain't one of them.
Right.
Even the cast cranks, they're fine. And you do a lot with them. wait, there's zero. Boss, okay, $1,000 piece of shit challenge with 100 shot NOS. There, see which one survived. Done. So we each get $1,000 card, and we're allowed to throw a 100 shot.
Well, specify, is it 100 dry shot or 100 wet shot?
Yeah, well, you got to make it interesting. It's got to be a dry shot.
Okay.
You have to run a dry shot.
Okay, explain to me the dry shot.
Wet shot, you add
nitrous
fuel.
naive. What's that?
Okay, so nitrous, right? It goes
Yeah.
in the combustion chamber.
Yeah.
It breaks into two
Adds
separate
fuel.
parts.
Right.
The nitrogen and the oxygen. Okay?
Right.
The nitrogen cools the combustion chamber.
Yep.
The oxygen allows you to burn more fuel.
Right.
Okay. So up to a point with a dry shot, not adding any extra fuel, you'll maximize the efficiency of the fuel that's coming in through the system normally.
Right.
Okay. But you reach a point where it becomes lean and it starts getting angry, and it's usually around 50 to a 75 shot dry. That's about as far as you can go using factory. Okay. Then you start adding fuel. So 100 dry shot would take some creative,
prior rich fueling.
yes, yeah.
You'd have to run a pig rich and then hit it with 100, and it would
Come right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But see, now he's the only one that has computer tuning skills. So that puts him at a real
Well,
advantage.
you can fatten up a carburetor and
Just set the float level half an inch line.
Yeah, I guess.
mm-hmm.
We can
Be
think about it.
interesting.
Let's see.
Hit the blue button.
The blue button. There we go.
Oh, yeah, Duke Dog 34 Dodge Special. Oh no, that's a different one. I started reading the other
You're
one.
talking about diesels.
Strato, what do you guys think about HP 915 heads on a 3-3 for a 66 Plymouth Belvedere? I wouldn't even bother with that. The 516s have the same combustion chamber. The difference between the 516s and the 915s is the exhaust valve. You got a 1.6 exhaust valve on the 516s and the 1.78 on the 67 heads, right? But that's only to take advantage of the bigger bore on the 440. So with the 4 1/4 bore size, you're better off just sticking with the 516 heads that are on there. You're not going to see any advantage.
Chris Billy Garage, is it 100 shot about $1,000 by itself?
No.
No.
No, you can go in marketplace and get the whole kit and everything used for $200 to $400.
No, okay.
I bought my kit used that I used on the Ranger, and I still use dry shot. That was $200. The guy was cleaning around the garage.
No, okay.
Yeah, it really can. 516s are great heads. Let's see.
What would help a 70 Cuda from wanting to wander from side to side?
Probably lower control on bushings.
Yeah, make sure your suspension's all up to par and a good wheel alignment. A little bit of extra caster, a little bit of extra caster, a little of extra camber can help on track nicer. Certainly the car, if you got power steering, you can dial a bit of extra caster.
So Jennifer Allen is still talking about her smoking 454, and Vile Fly says, Jennifer Allen, check the intake for vacuum leaks underneath it on the crankcase side, plug out the PCB. Okay, all right, the vacuum leak under full throttle, a vacuum leak will not give you any oil. It won't pull.
Not sucking.
Right. So yeah.
And Jennifer kind of defined smoke. Is it black smoke, white smoke? What color does smoke come out of that side?
An intake manifold gasket would give you that white smoke on light cruise and decel, because that's when vacuum goes highest, and that's when it's going to try to pull whatever's in the crankcase, whatever's around it. But when you're wide open throttle, and she's saying it's only at wide open throttle, it's when your manifold vacuum is at its lowest. You know, the smoke's on the right side, she's saying. Yeah, you've probably got a stuck oil ring.
Adam Wagley, God bless you, Uncle Tony and Auntie Kathy. The video on power shifting was genius.
Well, thank you. Duke Dog 34. Do you regularly rebuild the front ends on your cars when you get them? I always do, but it appears I'm the odd man out from the. I'm the last guy you want to ask about that.
Well, I usually buy junk, so
Yeah.
yeah, and it needs it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I drive it until it's not drivable. I drive it until I say to myself, I can't take this on the interstate. I can't go over like 55 with this. Then I rebuild it. That's just me. No, it's not the modulator, not the transmission modulator.
Wheelie King, check out Firm Feel for upper control arms. They build a proper amount of caster into the arms. Okay. That's interesting.
Adam Wagner still drinking that Tang. I haven't had Tang in a while. I was on a Tang kick for like a few years. And I've just gone to water. I drink a lot of water. That's about all I drink. He does the bourbon and stuff for me. You know, he satisfies my inner alcoholic. Let's see. Or a broken ringland. Not likely. It's probably an oil ring. Eric Stone, last time. Need advice. I have a 57 Chevy 3100 with original patina look. What's a 31? Oh, okay.
Pickup.
Yeah, pickup. A lady crashed into the front fender. Should paint or wrap to look as before or paint the whole truck? No, man. I would see, for me, if it's an original patina type of thing and like the fender got crunched and you're going to repair the fender, I would just leave the primer because that's part of its history. The whole point of patina in my mind, I mean, maybe I just see it differently than other people. In my mind, the thing about patina is to show this is the history of the car. It went through this, right? And so if it was a crunched fender and you repaired it and you primed it, well, that's just part of it. So you leave it alone. And people say, well, why didn't you patina the fender? You know, well, that's because that's this fender's story. It's not the same story as the rest of the vehicle.
See, I'm 100% opposite.
Really?
Go find another shitty fender.
Or that.
Even if it's a green truck and a blue fender or whatever.
Okay,
and bolt down the other shitty fender that's patinaed. So then you have more of a story.
He's got it even better than me. He's exactly right. That would be the first choice. But if perhaps you can't find it, a fender like he's talking about, then I would prime it and just let it be its own thing as part of the history.
To repair that fender, that metal's thick.
Yeah.
You got to wail on.
You need to beat a page. That's going to look like hell. Yeah, find another shitty fender and bolt it on.
It depends how bad it's crunched, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't do the wrap. It'll be.
No, not a wrap.
You could probably almost, a talented guy with the printer on a wrap, could make it. It could almost duplicate it, but it's going to look different. It's going to look wrong. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do that. I saw what was it? One of the Good Guys show. Some people had done a patina wrap, and it was superb. Like you really had to look close.
Yeah.
To see that it was a wrap. And what gave it away was it was too perfect.
Yeah.
The patina was too consistent around the whole car. They've done a stellar job of wrapping.
We missed a question from Bill McKeister. Tony Kiwi, what about my question between trucks? Did you guys see that?
No. Sorry, Bill.
I'm going to run back and see if I can find that. Sorry, Bill.
Or just put it up again, Bill. You don't have, just as a normal chat.
Well, it must have been a long time ago.
We must survive that.
You know what, Bill? Your question never posted. No. Try it again, man. It never posted. It's not, at least it's not on our end over here. Rusty Pliers, thank you for the super chat. I have two 73 Challengers. I have to put them both together to form one car because one is so rusted. One is just shell and has no title. And the bad one I have the title for. Can I put them together?
Yep.
Yeah. People do it all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
Pops the windshield up and zip, and yeah, you're good.
People do it all the time. Now, here's the thing, okay? And this is what you got to understand about this, right? Throughout the whole car, 73, there are going to be hidden VIN numbers, right? Now, if you look around the car, you're going to see that every single component is going to be stamped with the series number, right? So, like, look at your VIN, okay? Look at the last 5 digits of the VIN. Those 5 digits are going to be stamped everywhere, right? Like if you took the headliner down, they're going to be on the roof,
everywhere, yeah.
right? They're everywhere. The most on that car, you're going to find them on the core support, the radiator support, on the driver's side. You feel around underneath, you can find them, and you're going to find it under the weather stripping of the trunk. Okay, those are the 2 places that like cops look. Here's what you need to know about this. There's nothing wrong with combining parts so long as none of them are stolen, right? So just make sure that whatever parts you're working with, check the numbers, right? And have your local police department run the number and say, hey, yes, it's clean, or no, it's not, okay? That's what will get you in trouble.
And if, depending on your state, if you have a shell and it has a VIN, you could have it inspected and get a title for it.
Yes, well, even if it doesn't have a VIN. Like here in Tennessee, if you buy something that doesn't have a VIN, right, there's nothing, but you get a bill of sale saying, yeah, I bought it from so-and-so out of his backyard.
Yeah.
The state will issue a title for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
I actually gave one of those to Meister. He had a 64 Dart, didn't have a title, and I had one of those foil titles from the state that I never stuck on anything, so I gave it to him. Let's see. Oh, would you look at the time? Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's been
Nearly
2
out.
hours already.
Yeah.
This was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Grease Valley Garage, I got a free 79 D100 with a 316 limited slip rear end. Is a 79 360 a stout engine. Is that a good engine or is it a small engine?
Wait, which?
79 360.
It's a smog motor, but that's all external stuff. No, it's just like any other 360. You can make it work. But I'm looking to see if Bill McKeiska throws his question up again. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Bill McKeiska, 72 to 93 Dodge versus 73 to 87 Chevy. Who had the best trucks of the boxy body style years? The square bodies.
I'd have to say the Chevys.
Chevys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Chevys.
Now, better on mechanically, reliability?
Oh, just
all
100
around.
all around. Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
Variety,
Suspension,
options,
everything.
style, mechanically. Yeah.
Aesthetically, yeah.
The square body
Because
Chevy.
aesthetically is subjective, isn't it?
Well, you sit in a
it is
72
what you
Dodge
want.
and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The square body is a legend for a reason. It's desired around the world for a reason. They're really good. All right, but you know what else is really good? Saying good night to everybody.
Good night.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say that yet, right? Okay. So so we gotta thank people. Of course, our fantastic mods,
Yep.
right? Fubar was definitely in the house tonight. Zero was definitely in the house tonight. I didn't see Ali. I don't think I saw Mexican Spec, but all of you guys, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Everybody contributed super chat. Thank you so much. That always appreciated. Never expected. Always appreciated. Everybody contributed. Just your presence and your conversation. Thank you. We are all eternally grateful for you guys allowing us to do this stuff on YouTube. It's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing. Right? Thank you. I mean,
This is entertainment. Yeah.
all right. And that's that. So, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab.
Big next video you see Big Richard's engine will be complete, and it'll be pretty. There's a teaser out there in the post, and then we're going to go over things like You know, setting your oil pump height and painting your engine for $3 because of inflation now.
Good. It'd be hard off.
And you know, a few other things when setting that little motor up, but yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
Yes.
Looking forward to the startup on it.
So Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab, go over there. Kiwi's Conniptions and Convulsions.
Yes, videos coming up. What have we got coming up? We've got a cool old Chevy Nova hatchback, which I didn't even know they made a hatchback until like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So we got a little
I
spill on
told
that
you
one.
about that.
Well, when it showed up, I found out it was a hatchback. So.
You never would have figured it out.
Yeah, I got a good story about one of them.
It's
Later. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got part 3 of the messed up Mustang. So we're going to be testing out how she drives with all the new steering, the back to stock style steering with the new brakes. See if the high dollar pads are worth it or not. Yeah, so there's a few things coming up. Come over and have a look.
All right. So yeah, do that, and of course subscribe to him. If you're not subscribed to his channel, you're a fool. Okay, it's that simple. You're a fool. Do you see the fonts he uses? They're amazing. Who can come up with stuff like that? Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, do that. And me. Hi. All right. We're done.
We're done.
We're done.
All right. I'm gonna make this stop.
All right.
All right, everybody. Good night, all.
Adios.
guys.
Done.